Blake?
Got it. I know I'm late with the payment.
It's important to honor your debt.
What are you doing down here in the basement?
Why? What are you doing?
I don't know. I just woke up and rolled over, and you weren't there.
Oh. Well, let's go back up there, and I'll be there.
What the devil is all this stuff?
What? This?
Yeah.
It's some work. Oh, Frankie's just having me work on some surveillance techniques. It's all very technical. So, honey, now that you're awake, why don't we go back up to bed? But I think we should hurry. Get in a little private time before Dinah gets up, huh?
You bugged our telephone.
Bug? No, this isn't a bug. A bug is a concealed micro-transmitter. You know, like they have in the lapel pins of Russian spies, or how they wired Al Pacino up in Serpico. Now, that's a bug. This falls into the category of a tap.
Okay, it's a tap.
It's a tap, that's all. So, where were we? Honey, I was thinking strawberries and cream in bed for breakfast. Fresh ones. They spill.
Stop.
Huh?
Why did you put a wiretap on our telephone?
Ross, this will all become very clear in time, soon. I promise. But for now, just pretend you didn't see it, okay? Secrecy is of the utmost importance.
Well, we don't have secrets from each other, do we? Or at least I didn't think we did until now.
Well, this isn't about us, really. It's a professional secret. Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. I mean, you think it's all right to have this whole other life down in our basement?
Oh, please, Ross, you're acting like this is some big deal.
Well, it is a big deal. This is our house, and that wire goes to our telephone. I just want to know what the hell it is you're doing.
Gathering information. Building a case.
From what?
All right. Okay, I'll tell you the truth. This isn't about work. It is personal. It's about Dinah. She has been lying and concealing things since the first day she got here, Ross. And if you don't believe me, why don't we just let this tape speak for itself?
This is outrageous. It's unconscionable.
No,
I don't
listen
believe
to the
this.
tape, okay?
No, I will not listen. I don't believe this.
Hey, listen, Ross, I had no other choice here. I've been trying to warn you about her, but you won't believe me, so I just went and I got some proof.
Proof of what? What could my daughter have possibly have done to justify this kind of sneaky, conniving behavior?
You want to know why Dinah came to town in the first place? To take you for every single penny you've got. If you don't believe me, you just listen to this tape.
I will not listen to it. I don't believe you.
You're just afraid I'm right.
No, I assure you, you're not. You're wrong.
No, Ross, you're just being too pig-headed to face the truth here.
I think I already know the truth.
Oh, really?
You have this inability to share me. Look at what you're doing. You're in competition with my daughter for my affections. You are jealous.
I'm jealous?
Well,
no,
what
no,
other-
I am not jealous.
What else justifies this kind of behavior?
Listen, you can think whatever you want to think, but I've been spending my energy trying to protect you.
From what?
From your daughter, who has no conscience.
All right, stop it.
And if you don't believe me, you can just listen to this tape because it proves it. Dinah is amoral, self-centered, and jealous.
No, Blake, this is amoral. This is jealous. And this is just Stop.
Oh, Ross, please, if you had just heard what was on that tape.
I don't care what you heard or what you thought you heard. I want that ridiculous phone tapping thing out of here. Get it out of my basement.
Your basement? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Your basement? You've never spoken to me like that before.
You've never tapped the phones before, at least to my knowledge. Now, I know you haven't been happy playing hostess, but that is no reason for you to try and come between me and my daughter.
Me? You have this so twisted around. It's not me. It's her. She is trying to come between us.
Do you have any proof to back up these accusations?
Ross, I don't want to be the messenger here.
I don't care what you want. Do you have any proof?
I was trying to get the proof of
Do you have any specifics, anything at all that would stand up in a court of law?
We're not in a courtroom, okay? We're in our bedroom.
Yes, where you have wiretapped our telephone, which is illegal. Do you know that? It's illegal.
So arrest me, okay? Haul me in. Take me downtown, all right? Put me on trial. I'll tell my whole story. The whole world can know the truth about Dinah.
No, the truth is your overheated little brain has cooked up this scenario which has no basis whatsoever in reality.
Oh, really? Did I cook up the little phone calls that Dinah made to my father? Yeah, that's right. Dinah and Roger have been carrying on behind our backs. It's just one thing that was on that tape you destroyed.
You... Let me tell you that bringing Roger into this was a major mistake.
I didn't bring Roger into this. Dinah did.
Come on, everybody knows that Dinah and Roger, they accidentally ran into each other one night at the country club. I mean, that Tiffany woman from the Journal, she even put it in her stupid column. That's how absurd all this is. It is gossip.
Ross, I overheard the conversations. They were yakking away like they've known each other forever. I'm telling you, something is up.
Come on, Dinah will talk to a wrong number as if it's a long-lost friend. I mean, the telephone, it's her umbilical cord to the rest of the world. She'll literally talk to anybody, so you can't categorize a couple of phone calls to Roger as carrying on.
That's it. I've had it, Ross. You don't even stop for a second to think that I might be telling the truth here. It's as if Blake's the pathological liar here. What is the deal here? Ever since Dinah got here, I don't exist. I'm wondering if you love me anymore, because you're really not acting like it. You're falling for all of her tricks, and you're letting her walk all over me. I mean, what happened to all the understanding and the sensitivity that I'm supposed to get, that you're supposed to give me? You used to. That is it. I am not taking any more from that lying little homewrecker. She is not coming into this house, our home, and destroying everything.
It. The fact is, you put the wiretap on the telephone. Now, why don't you just admit that it is petty and personal?
Yes, it's personal. I admit it. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her.
What are you thinking about, Blake? What if Dinah heard you say you hate...
I don't care. You know what? I'm going to shout it from the rooftops. Maybe I'm going to make my own commercial. I'm going to tell the whole world that Dinah Marlar is nasty and vain and selfish, and I hate her.
You are making a bad situation much worse.
It can't get any worse.
No, I don't think it can. So what do we do?
I don't know. What can we do? We've got 3 people on a lifeboat that only holds 2. Somebody's got to jump or we sink. My only hope is to toss Dinah overboard.
I will not ask my daughter, who has never had a home or a family in her life, I will not ask her to leave this house.
Splash.
Splash, what does that mean?
Somebody just got tossed overboard. Don't worry, it wasn't your precious daughter.
Daddy?
Hi.
Were you and Blake fighting about me?
Blake and I don't fight.
Listen, I know. I'm hard to get along with. I've been impossible.
Impossible, irrational, and totally out of control. But then again, everybody in this household has been taking a turn at one of the 3. This time, I have no idea what the woman I'm married to is going to do next.
You can't just barge into this office.
Vanessa, I need to talk to you, but your guard dog wouldn't let me in.
Wanda, it's okay. It's all right. What is it?
I wouldn't have come if it weren't important. Your daughter is wrecking my marriage.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you and Ross are having problems, but, come, sit down. I mean, I'm sure it's not all Dinah's fault.
Listen, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one because my marriage was just fine until Dinah got here.
Well, did you and Ross have a big fight
No,
or
it was
something?
more than a fight, and guess who caused it?
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I mean, I'm sure it's very difficult to share your home with a virtual stranger and your husband's attentions, but Dinah is no home wrecker.
Listen, Vanessa, I didn't come here to upset you or offend you. I mean, it took long enough for you and me and Ross to be talking together again. I'm desperate, and I don't know where else to turn.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Well, I'm not really sure. I want you to see what I can't convince Ross of.
What's that?
That Dinah is using him and manipulating him. In fact, she's using all three of us to her advantage. I don't think she cares about anybody but herself.
Well, I'm sure that's not true. I mean, I know for a fact that's not true. She's a young girl. She's just, you know, she's a bit of a handful, I'll grant you that, and she's very self-absorbed, but weren't we all at that age? I mean, come on, look at yourself. You've matured beautifully over the last 3 years, but, you know, I don't think that you can really point a finger at her.
Well, from what I've heard, at Dinah's age, you weren't all that different yourself. Oh, I guess Ross wasn't supposed to tell me what you were like back then, huh?
Let's just keep this conversation to Dinah.
Okay, listen. All I'm trying to say is that there's a big difference between acting selfish because you're young and then scheming to use the people that you care about. Now, Ross is totally blind to what Dinah's about. He's never spent any time with her. But Vanessa, you're her mother. You have to be the person that straightens her out. Now, please, don't take this the wrong way, but don't you think it's about time you started acting like a parent to her?
Yeah, as much as I love Blake, and I do, we don't always see eye to eye, and I'm sorry if she took it out on you.
Well, I must have done something.
Well, honey, nothing specific. It's just what happens when another adult moves into a household. The dynamics change, you know?
Well, I'd hate to be causing problems between the two of you.
It's a give and take proposition. Both you and Blake have had to learn that fast, and me too.
I've really been trying.
Well, so has she, so have I, but we all make mistakes.
It's only human.
You know, but I've been trying from the very beginning to facilitate some sort of understanding about the whole situation.
Oh, Daddy, you've been wonderful. Really, I don't know what I would have done without you.
Well, as your father, I should be able to do something, you know, and I've seen the way you've been trying to change and accommodate and all that.
Oh, thank you, Daddy.
Well, what I can't figure out is why Blake has been so antagonistic and divisive.
No, I was kind of scared when I saw you so angry. What did she do to make you that mad?
Well, you don't have to worry about that. Honey, you just know that I love you and I support you no matter what mistakes you've made in the past.
I love you too, Daddy. That's why I think it might be time for me to move in with Mother.
No. Absolutely not. I don't want you to do that.
It might be easier for you.
No, it wouldn't be easier. Now, look, I've seen you do those irritating things, but I've also seen you try and make things work, like, you know, like giving up smoking and picking up after yourself, and the way you turned up at Blake's birthday party. You see, you're trying, and with a little tolerance, Blake, you, me, we can make a go of it, I'm sure.
You really think so?
Yes. I don't want you to leave here. I don't want this to be a place that you run away from. I want this to be a place where you can hardly wait to get back to.
Well, I don't want to run away. I like it here. And I've even started looking for work.
Well, there you go. That's wonderful.
Well, you didn't think I was going to live off of your generosity forever.
Well, families aren't about money, you know.
I know. But money is the reason, by the way, that I brought up that stupid trust fund with Vanessa. I mean, just to help me get set up and feel more independent. Even at minimum wage, even if they raised minimum wage, it would still take me a long time to get going.
Minimum wage. You are worth so much more than minimum wage.
Oh, stop it, Daddy. You're my father, so you think so, but not everybody does. But I was sort of surprised that you went along with Vanessa's decision about the trust fund.
Oh, well, the thinking on that was that a little bit too much too soon.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's not about money. And I'm really thinking about Blake, because I know this must be hard on her, too. And I just feel awful thinking that I'm responsible for anyway, for this fight that you had. I'm going to do everything I can to make it better, I promise. Even if it means leaving you.
Let me tell you something. Blake has a temper, and unfortunately, so does your father. But we love each other too much to let anything come between us. Believe me, she'll be back.
Good. Well, I know something I can do. I'll go do the dishes.
Girl.
Frank Cooper.
Frank, it's Ross.
Hey, Ross. How you doing?
I want you to get this wiretapping equipment out of my house or it goes in the garbage. You got it?
I was afraid of something like this.
I just want it out of here. Blake used it to listen in on the phone calls of my daughter.
Well, I would love to be a more effective mother to Dinah. I would love to be any kind of mother to her. But she's made her preference for her father perfectly clear ever since she came to town.
Vanessa, don't you see? It's because she knows she can maneuver him more easily. Ross is a sap when it comes to Dinah. I can barely stand to watch it. She knows that he's a very easy mark. And she's gonna break his heart in two.
She cares about her father. I know she cares about him. But besides, what can she really do to hurt him?
She can take him for every penny he's got.
Well, that's ridiculous. She knows that I'm very comfortable, as is her grandfather, and she's very well aware of the fact that she's going to get a huge trust fund in not so long.
Well, she can't wait that long, trust me. She's got huge debts.
What?
Credit card companies, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't exactly hear who was dunning her.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You heard somebody asking her to pay back huge debts?
Yes, and when I tried to tell Ross about it, that's when it blew up into World War III.
What? I don't understand. Where were you? Who was the person? Who was talking to her?
No, it's not important. What's important is that Ross hates me now. Ross thinks that I'm thrilled to death to make life tough for his precious little daughter. What's the use? You're not going to do anything about this. You're not going to... I came here, I thought maybe you could help. I don't know what I was thinking. You know, Vanessa, one of these days, you are going to wish that you listened to me about Dinah. Because the sooner we all admit what she is and what she's here for, the better off we all are going to be, including her.